there are times in a streamer's career when they need to admit that they're wrong, and sometimes they just need to not be a streamer anymore. And Hasan, I believe, is reaching that peak very quickly because we have, for the last 10 days, had a different reason every single day as to what was going on in regards to Kaya and the shock collar. In fact, More Pegasus has a very succinct list right here, and I'm just gonna let the audio play. Take it away, More Pegasus.
Right, so let's go down the updated excuse list. Her dew claw got stuck. I was reaching for a Zin, not a remote. It's a vibration-only collar, not a shock collar. Look, here's the collar with the tape on it the day after. Wait, actually, it's far-right in Israel propaganda. Okay, actually, shock collars are a good thing, but I only used it on myself. Okay, wait, it's actually a dog gate button. Okay, it's actually a shock collar, guys, but I, as a multi-millionaire, DIY removed it and put tape on it in order to only use the vibrate function. Okay, actually, the dog wasn't even wearing the collar, guys. Your eyes are out of context.
And a partridge in a pear tree. And now, on day 10, after all of the excuses haven't worked, and after all of the internet sleuthing has produced so many clips of Hasan from his own streams interacting with Kaya and having the remote for the shock collar in the same place that we see him reaching for in the clip that started all this. And now he's crying because why can't people just let him do his job? People come to him for news coverage, you know. And there are adults and even people who aren't adults, which means he's acknowledging, by the way, nobody is really mentioning this from what I've seen. He's acknowledging that there are kids that watch him and he still simps for terrorists and you know, blatantly accuses his opposition of heinous shit that's not supported by any legal documentation at all. And he's just fine with being that way in front of children and, you know, impressionable people. Like, he just admitted that. But he's the victim, guys, because why can't the people even in his chat now and even who are ideologically in sync with him, why can't even they just leave him alone? Why do they have to fall for the right-wing talking points of the fact that he abuses his dog? Well, Hasan, that would be because animal abuse is an ideologically free topic for most sane people. Usually when it comes to, you know, stuff like hurting animals, hurting small children, you know, taking advantage of disabled people, you know, those top three things generally are free from ideology. It usually, if you have any sort of conscience or sanity in your brain, you are not going to be like, oh, well, I align with him politically, so it's okay that he beats his kids with a phone cord. You know, like, that's just not gonna happen. So Hasan is surprised that the people that agree with him, even to the point of supporting him when he goes on podcasts with gay co-hosts and goes, yeah, my favorite flag is Hezbollah. Even those people now are like, I don't think I like this. And Hasan is just upset, like to the point where he was on the verge of tears on his last stream. And to the point where a 40-month subscriber called him out because Hasan was like, oh, well, the right just owns discourse and just, they're constantly, feeding people with these fabricated points. And it's like, no, dude, these are facts. These are video clips from your own stream. And for you to make this about ideology or Israel or anything just goes to show that you mistreated your dog. And that other people around you know that you mistreated your dog. And then there's the clips that have come out of him locking Kaya into a cage while she was a puppy with another dog, an older dog, and laughing when Kaya, as a puppy, didn't have the socialization to understand, oh, maybe I shouldn't piss this dog off. And the older dog had nowhere to go because it was such a small space that the only thing the older dog could do was snap at Kaya and bark at her. And Hasan is just sitting there with this dumb fucking throat gargle laugh. My freaking stepfather used to do that shit, and it was so annoying. That dumb, it's just, ugh, it's fucking nails on a chalkboard. And then he says at one point, I want you guys to see when Kaya gets scared, 'cause it's fucking hilarious. Could you imagine the parent of two toddlers? One is 3, one is 1. And the parent decides, I'd like to get my 1-year-old a bit more socialized. So I'm going to put the 3-year-old into a playpen with the 1-year-old. So there's absolutely no room for either of them to get away from each other and get some personal space. Then I'm going to sit down on the couch and watch as the 1-year-old, who has no concept of sharing or anything, invade the 3-year-old's personal space, and then watch the 3-year-old get pissed off and beat the shit out of the 1-year-old. And then I'm just going to sit there and laugh and go, oh, it's really funny when the 1-year-old gets scared of his sister because, he just, cries and shit, and it's just so funny. Fucking Family and Children's Services would be at that house within seconds of that video clip going out. Where the hell is the ASPCA? I know Legal Mindset was talking about something to do with alerting them, but this is not okay. This is not how you socialize a dog. And the fact that he is willing to sit there and openly run with the, oh, poor me, everybody's mad at me for abusing the dog that I treat as a prop, and who I specifically even said that this is a dog that sits on camera for hours at a time. That's not what that breed of dog is meant for. And the poor thing can't even stand up to reach for water without him yelling at her and shocking her. I've been around dogs my whole life, and they do that thing where they've been lying down for, a while, and they're uncomfortable. So they stand, they turn, and they lay down again. And even Kaya doing that gets Hasan angry. And there are still people like Pokimane and QT Cinderella that are like, oh, well, when I babysat Kaya, there was nothing like that. And, oh, well, I've never seen Hasan do anything like that. And it's like, why? Why are you even running defense for this shit? This is not something, at this point, you need to be like, no, I'm not interacting with this anymore. Even if you are friends with them in real life. You at this point, as another large streamer, if you were, openly on camera interacting with Hasan at this point, I would be like, nope, I'm not doing this. You are literally killing your own career. I don't need you to kill mine. And also with this whole, just the whole shit show with Twitch. I just would not, if I were a large streamer in Hasan's orbit, I would do everything I could to break the gravity of said orbit as quickly as possible. But hey, those people are just as psychotic as he is, so they're not going to do that. But that's my opinion on this latest nonsense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.